Welcome to another episode of the Jampack Report today for December the 16th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry, hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week. It's your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But it tends to be the case that as we get closer to the end of the year, the news cycle begins to wind down. We don't have nearly as many stories, people are taking off time for the holidays, and generally the show is kind of a bit more calm until January or February. That's not happening this year because we continually see this influx of news coming from the gaming industry, and don't get me wrong, I'm very excited, but it's very strange to see this year being bigger than any year that I can previously really remember. Because we have the announcement of a new gaming console, or I should say a tease, coming from an unusual source. On top of that, the Mortal Kombat movie has a release date. Amazon's Luna is getting a release on Android, and on top of that, Kojima Productions has more stuff that is going to be announced later today. There's a lot to dive into, but hey, it makes for a very interesting holiday season. But first and foremost, let's talk about our headline story. EA Play on Xbox Game Pass for PC has been delayed to 2021. It was going to launch yesterday, but will now arrive next year. In an Xbox Wire blog post, the company said EA Play will now join Xbox Game Pass for PC in 2021. When we originally set out to write this blog post, which would announce the availability of EA Play on PC with Xbox Game Pass, it looked a little bit different, Microsoft said. Unfortunately, what had been a celebratory post is now one asking for a little more patience. We made the decision to delay until 2021 the release of EA Play on PC as part of the Xbox Game Pass for PC and Ultimate memberships. We established this partnership with Electronic Arts because they are as passionate as we are about helping people and communities discover great games, and we knew we could provide a great experience for members by working together. In order to deliver on that, we need more time to provide the Xbox Game Pass experience, end quote. Microsoft went on to say that it will have more news to share early next year. As of November 10th, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers on console get an EA Play membership at no additional cost, granting members unlimited access to full versions of selected EA back catalog games. EA Play also offers early access trials of most new EA games, including FIFA 21 and Madden NFL 21, and members receive a 10% discount on EA digital purchases. In a recent interview with Gaming Bible, Xbox marketing GM Aaron Greenberg suggested the addition of EA Play to Xbox Game Pass is part of a long-term agreement between Microsoft and Electronic Arts. Quote, "So right now we have a significant partnership with EA Play, and this is going to remain in the service for quite a while," he said. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and I will continue saying this for those that have been listening for a while, is the best deal in gaming. I could not imagine not paying this $15 a month fee to get access to Xbox Game Pass on console, on PC, now EA Play, and all of the other perks and bells and whistles that come along with this subscription. I've had to buy fewer games because of Xbox Game Pass, but I have been able to discover so many more that I have loved playing. And so it really does bring an incredible value. But in regards to this EA Play delay on PC, it's very important that the service is done right, because in a way, this is different than releasing a game that isn't finished. So of course, we've been talking about Cyberpunk 2077, where the game just doesn't feel like it has that same amount of polish on consoles as it does on PC. And EA Play would have had that same exact feel on PC as compared to the console version, because EA Play on consoles is seamless. It feels like it's baked directly into the experience. In fact, if I didn't know the EA games that were included with EA Play, I probably wouldn't even know that they weren't all just looped into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. But if you have a clunky experience for some games on the PC client while other ones are working, that creates a kind of disparity between the kind of experience you can expect from games that are on the shared service. So it's important to create a UI and to create a service that works seamlessly and flawlessly to really meet players where they are and hit their expectations as soon as the service launches, because Xbox Game Pass has garnered a lot of positive momentum for the Xbox brand, and they certainly don't want to slow that down. Now, I don't think this is going to be a late spring, summer, fall 2021 release. I think this is going to be something that we see probably around February or March ASAP. But as always, whether it's a service or a game or any kind of DLC, whatever it might be, take your time, make sure it's done correctly, because we see what happens whenever it's not done correctly. And CD Projekt Red is paying the price for that right now, and other companies have as well in the past, but they're just the example that's on the minds of many players right now. Amazon's Luna cloud gaming service is now available on Android. It works on some Pixel, Samsung, and OnePlus devices. Amazon's cloud gaming service, Luna, is now available on Android, Amazon announced on Tuesday. Like the iOS version of Luna, there is no separate Luna app to download. Instead, you'll access the service through the Chrome web browser. Amazon launched Luna in early access in October, where it was initially available on PC, Mac, Fire TV, and on iPhone and iPad via web apps. The service works on a channels-based model where you pay a monthly fee for each channel of games you want access to. Right now, there are 2 channels available. Amazon's $5.99 per month Luna Plus channel has games from many different publishers, and Ubisoft's $14.99 per month Ubisoft Plus channel offers Ubisoft games. Paying that $14.99 per month fee for the Ubisoft Plus channel also gives you access to Ubisoft Plus on PC and on Google's cloud gaming service, Stadia. Luna is only available in the US right now, and if you don't have access already, you can request it here, and they have a link for you there in the Verge article. If you do have early access and want to start playing Luna on Android, follow the instructions in the video found on the @AmazonLuna Twitter account. Right now, Luna's Android version works on some Pixel, Samsung, and OnePlus devices, but Amazon says Luna will add support for more Android devices during Luna's early access period. An Amazon spokesperson shared a list of currently supported devices with The Verge, including in the Pixel family the 4XL, the 4A, the 4A 5G, and the 5, the Samsung Galaxy S10, S10 Plus, Note 10, Note 10 Plus, S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra, Note 20, and Note 20 Ultra, and the OnePlus family includes 7, 7 Pro, 7 Pro 5G, 8, 8 Pro, Nord, 7T, 7T Pro, 7T Pro 5G. You'll also need to be using Android 9 or higher and Chrome version 86 or newer. You'll be able to play games using Amazon's own Luna controller as well as the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One controller through that Bluetooth connectivity. I'm on the fence about this, and I have not been able to try Luna, but in my personal opinion, the experience of going into a dedicated app, like you are able to do so with Project xCloud on an Android device, is a much more welcoming and much more cohesive experience for the player as compared to going into a web browser. That creates a different perception of the experience you're getting, because a dedicated app means something different. In my mind, it's almost the difference between playing a game on your phone and playing a game on a console. Because for many players around the world, a phone isn't a gaming machine, but an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch is. And so the experience you're getting on the console is going to be a much higher quality, robust experience as compared to what you get on your phone. Now, if you even shrink that down further on your phone, whenever somebody sees an application that is a game or an application that is a service, you are going to perceive that as something that is built for that reason. So in the world of xCloud, having that app, it means that it's built for streaming games. In a similar way, the Netflix app is much more welcoming and much more acceptable, I don't know the best way to put it, as compared to watching video in a browser. They both get the job done, but the native application just feels better. The UI is more well-designed. It's just a better experience to have a dedicated app. Now, web apps are very special, because if they're designed properly, a web app can feel like a native application, and in doing so, the creator, in this case Amazon, is able to dodge any kind of regulation that might come from Google or even Apple in the future. So if it's designed properly and it's done well, it can be a good experience. I've had this experience with the Twitter web app on iOS devices. It is fantastic, and it feels in many ways like the native Twitter application, and it also consumes less data. But Amazon's Luna is still a very small service. It has not been promoted heavily, and it's just kind of getting its footing, but I'm interested to see where it goes. And the value here comes in the incredible install size or I should say the installation base, the spread of Fire TVs, of tablets, of any kind of Fire device, even perhaps an Echo Show. I don't know if that would ever work, but the fact that Amazon is already in so many homes gives them access to players around the world that might just be searching for something to play a couple of games on after work. They don't have to be a competitor with Xbox and PlayStation. They're competing directly with these streaming services. And again, with an install base of that size, they don't really have too much ground to make up. It's really just marketing this properly. And I say that as somebody who has a Fire TV hooked up to the television that's sitting directly to my left. I might actually play games on that. My parents have one plugged into their TV. If it runs well, I don't see why not. We'll see what happens. I would love to give it a shot. But I think the pricing is where things could get a bit dicey. This is better than Google Stadia's pricing model because you do have subscriptions that are kind of all-inclusive. Of course, right now the selection is small, but Ubisoft's $14.99 per month plan gives you access to much, much more. And then on top of that, this $6 Luna subscription sounds much more reasonable to me, and probably would to a lot of the core fundamental gamers around the world. But regardless, Amazon Luna is starting to get its footing, and it could be a big competitor in 2021. Now, the Mortal Kombat movie has an April 2021 release date, The Mortal Kombat movie has been pushed back to the 16th of April and was due out on the 15th of January. The reboot launches in cinemas and on HBO Max on the same day, a move that's part of Warner Bros.' controversial strategy to release all of its 2021 movies day and date in theaters and on its streaming services in response to the pandemic. HBO Max is not out yet in the UK. It's expected to arrive here at some point during the second half of 2021, they write at Eurogamer. Film producer Todd Garner tweeted the movie's poster alongside a promise to release a trailer in the new year. I'm cautiously optimistic. There has been a trend over the past few years of video game movies not being great, and we'll see what happens with the Monster Hunter movie that is set to launch in just a couple of days. I'm interested to see what happens with that one. But when it comes to the Mortal Kombat movie, it's going to do better, in my opinion, with the global release on HBO Max as well as in theaters, as compared to if it had just come out in theaters. Because of what I just said, there's this, again, perception that video game movies are probably not going to be that great. Now, Mortal Kombat is a very strong brand, so people know what they're going in for. But if it's a good movie, it's going to do well regardless. Now it's just going to do better because of the spread that it can have. And it also, in my mind, feels like a straight-to-streaming movie. A Mortal Kombat movie sounds like something Netflix would fund. Even though it's not coming to Netflix, it has that kind of vibe. So I'm looking forward to actually sitting down, and I'll probably watch it. Just because I have HBO Max, I might as well see what's going on in the world of Mortal Kombat in the cinematic universe. But speaking of cinematic, Kojima Productions tells fans not to expect any game announcements later on today. Sort of a bummer, but this is exactly what I expected. Kojima Productions has told fans not to expect any new game announcements as part of its 5th anniversary celebrations today. The Tokyo-based Death Stranding developer is planning to deliver what it's called exciting updates to coincide with its birthday on December the 16th. So far, it's published a special anniversary wallpaper and some new merchandise, which led some fans asking whether they should be expecting anything more significant. Quote, "There are no game announcements today," the Kojima Productions Twitter account told one user. "The updates that we have planned today are purely to celebrate our anniversary and to thank you all for the support that you have given us these past 5 years," end quote. The official Twitter account said the studio still has a few more updates to come. Kojima Productions' debut title, Death Stranding, released for PS4 in November 2019 and for PC in July 2020. Kojima Productions revealed in October that it was staffing up for a new game project. In a post on its social media channels, the company confirmed it was looking to hire the best-in-class talent to work out of our Tokyo studio. Kojima Productions can officially reveal that a new project is in development, and we are looking to expand our team with a new series of new roles, it said. More than 25 roles are currently listed on its website across programming, art, writing, and design. If you're looking for a job, hey, maybe hit up Hideo Kojima, see if he's hiring for what you need. But this is something that was kind of expected again, because it feels very early to announce any kind of game that is specific to a title, release date, a trailer, this is still, again, less than, or I should say just about 1 year out from the release of Death Stranding, so it's still very fresh. And if you haven't played Death Stranding, absolutely go give it a shot, because it's one of the best games that I've played on the last generation of consoles. It really took me for a ride on my PS4 Pro. But when it comes to the announcements coming today, expect something weird, probably a webcomic or a new short film series released on some kind of platform. Kojima's strange, and I love him because of that. But again, when it comes to game announcements, don't expect too much today. But it could be a game, and it could release on SNK's new console, because SNK is making a new games console, according to a Twitter post, hypothetically. At one time, SNK made what was considered the Rolls-Royce of video game consoles. As a kid, I remember thinking that the Neo Geo was the most amazing game hardware I had ever seen, the author writes at Kotaku, and now earlier today, the company announced that it's making a new game machine. SNK posted the following tweet. It reads, quote, "In 2021, a new game console from SNK will debut. Please look forward to a new product that will meet the needs of console games and the passion of game fans." Oddly, the image that accompanies the tweet includes the English language text, "Who is the best player?" and the Wi-Fi signal, okay. Recently, it was reported that Saudi Arabian investors were going to acquire a majority stake in the game maker. Previously, back in 2015, a Chinese joint venture had acquired SNK, and during this period, a Neo Geo mini console and a massive Neo Geo stick were released. I think that this is what you are going to be seeing. You're not going to be seeing a competitor with PlayStation or Xbox or the Switch. You're going to be getting another one of these mini consoles, something that probably costs between $50 and $100 that kind of gives you access to a lot of SNK games, because SNK doesn't want to do what Atari has done, where you see the console that Atari has been promoting for a number of years at this point coming out, and no one's talking about it. There is no hype around it. There are no games coming out for it. It's just kind of floating in the abyss. And so SNK certainly does not want to repeat that. So a Neo Geo Mini feels like a good kind of fit for this specific kind of announcement. Looking forward to seeing what they come up with. But to round out today's show, you can get a freebie on PC and a couple of more coming down the pike because of some giveaways from the team at Ubisoft. Get Starlink Battle for Atlas for free on PC, but you better be quick. In a post on Ubisoft's website, the firm said that folks can pick up the title for the cost of nothing at all over on Ubisoft Connect, which is Uplay. This is part of its Happy Holidays offer, in which the company is giving away gifts to players from December the 14th to December the 18th. This is the second present that Ubisoft is giving fans, and you can find out more and claim the offer at the link which I have down below, and can also be found in the VG 24/7 article. Starlink Battle for Atlas was announced back at E3 2017 alongside the likes of Beyond Good and Evil 2, before Ubisoft showed it off a little bit more following the year. The game released for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch back in October 2018 before coming to PC the following April. Starlink received mixed reviews, boasting Metacritic scores of 70, 47, and 78 on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch respectively. Since release, the game has dropped in price somewhat. Starter packs were available for just £12 across all formats in the UK by June 2019, and in their preview, they said Ubisoft's sci-fi Toys to Life title was described as No Man's Sky, but with stuff to do. Ubisoft's Starlink Battle for Atlas giveaway followed the company's first Happy Holidays offer, which was a bundle of content for the recently released and rather successful Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, if you missed the Valhalla bundle, there tends to be a trend of on the final day of the big giveaway, they open up everything once again, so it's more of a timed exclusivity period rather than just a, "Oops, sorry, you missed your window" kind of situation. Will they do that this time? Yet to be seen. But if you do want Starlink Battle for Atlas on PC, you can dive in, give it a look, but also stay tuned because there are more giveaways to come in the few days ahead leading up to the Christmas season. Now that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what stories caught your eye. I would love to hear what you have to say. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.